Hey everybody, I'm Simmons. This is Philosophy for Where We Find Ourselves, July 1st, 2020. A lot of us are struggling right now to figure out how safely to return to normal. And there are religious institutions, churches across the country, schools, colleges, universities, businesses, all trying to get back in person. You'll notice I'm dressed a little strange today. This is because my computer was messed up and I had to bring it to my university in order to try to get it fixed. So I'm standing outside waiting for it to be repaired, hopefully, in my mask and my face shield and gloves. And I thought when I was looking at myself this way, it actually raises for us an important philosophical question about what it means to be in person. Right now, we think in person just means, hey, if we can get students back on campuses, people back in churches, people back in businesses, everything will be okay. We'll be safe, but that's what matters. This assumes that face-to-face relationships are somehow simply facilitated by our proximity. But I think this misunderstands two ways of understanding the face. We could follow Emmanuel Levinas, who understands the face as a site of moral depth. It's not about my physique, it's about who I am. It's about the other being a face that challenges my sovereignty, my self-sufficiency, that calls me to responsibility at the core of my identity. But we can also talk about face as a physical presentation of the historical embodied markers that I carry forward into the world of meaning. Unless we read them as both part of the equation, we will continue to mess up what in person is all about. Trying to get back in person but having to do it this way entirely ignores the historical embodiment that we need to encounter in each other. This is in fact what Black Lives Matter is trying to explain. Black Lives Matter as the condition for any other lives mattering. Unless we see each other in our racial and gendered and historically articulated embodiment, we're not looking at each other. We're instead looking at an idea of the other rather than the other in there, as Levinas says, destitution in the world. As such, I implore pastors and university administrators and business leaders and politicians to take seriously the technological alternatives that make possible being in person, in the sense that we get to continue to see each other. We get to continue to take seriously the faces of the other people, of our students, of our congregants, as they present themselves in historical ways in the world. I want to see the faces of my students, which means I want to protect them right now by staying away from them. So I want to see them on my computer screen because I also recognize that their historical faces are implicated in the way COVID works. Black bodies are 2.5 more times likely to die from COVID, not because anything having to do with being black, but having to do with the historical injustices that attend the idea of whiteness as sinful. That is why I am imploring leaders to take seriously tech options, even if it comes at economic cost. Even if it comes at a very difficult year emotionally and mentally, because we want to be with each other. We can be with each other by seeing each other's faces in a much more compelling way right now than being near each other while remaining hidden. I hope that you will work with me to try to advocate for being able to return in person only when the face as dignity is coupled with the face as presence. And for that reason, I want to stay seeing you on my computer, watching my pastor on my TV, because that means we are loving each other and loving our neighbors in their embodiment, not despite it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow unless a piano falls on our heads.